Well, good afternoon, everyone. I've been told by more than one person that we're supposed to wake you up, so who better to do that than the Americans, right? So, good afternoon, distinguished members. Oh, we go to me here. So, good afternoon, distinguished members of the AIPH Secretariat, fellow Congress delegates, and friends of Horticultural Expo worldwide. My name's Wendy Meadley. I'm the CEO of Expo 2031 USA, and it's an honor to stand before you today, 2 years after I first came and visited with you, and we've brought a number of team members, and we, of course, continue to bring new ones today with us. So we're going to give you an update on our journey so far, and what we're doing has really become more than an event or more than an expo. It's really been a movement and getting everybody convened in the United States and starting in Minnesota. And so you're going to hear a little bit about that from our team. But first, you are going to hear from one of the key advocates for us, our Congresswoman Angie Craig. Our expo is sited in the 2nd District in Minnesota, and Congresswoman Craig represents that district.
Hello everyone, it's Congresswoman Angie Craig, and I have the honor of representing Minnesota's 2nd Congressional District. Minnesota is proud to stand as the proposed host of Expo 2031, a gathering of folks from all over the world dedicated to horticulture, innovation, and global exchange. Our state has long been known as a leader in innovation. From precision agriculture to renewable energy leadership, Minnesotans continue to demonstrate that tradition and technology work hand in hand. Dakota County, where the Mississippi and Minnesota rivers meet, has always been a gateway for exchange. Hosting Expo 2031 here continues that legacy of connection. Expo 2031 is designed to bring together growers, entrepreneurs, and innovators from all over the world. As we navigate evolving trade relationships and tariffs, the Expo offers American businesses the chance to cultivate relationships with global partners. This Expo will be a first of its kind in the U.S., and with Minnesota leading, we are ready to create an unforgettable event, one that will set the groundwork for future events. Through close relationships between our agencies and the Expo 2031 team, we are confident that this will be remembered as a landmark event, not only for Minnesota and the United States, but for AIPH and the global community. Thank you to everyone who's been working hard to make this Expo a reality. I look forward to welcoming you to Dakota County to experience firsthand Minnesota's spirit of innovation and hospitality. See you in 2031.
Thank you, Congressman. Okay. So then you're wondering how we're going to organize this and honor what our Congresswoman said. We've come forward as a LLC to this moment and in America to create an expo in conjunction with our federal government. We need to have a certain kind of formula. And so we've got our expo team, and you are now seeing that we're building out our team with actual investor partners. Instead of building a whole early team of people in a broad way, we're bringing experts together who are investing and ensuring our success so that they can be focused on building an expo instead of building a team. Our Horticulture Council is our whole committee structure, and each of the horticulture, each of the categories support our sectors in America that are going to help us fund the expo. Each of those sectors has an executive leader, and in fact, you'll see Todd Pullum today, and he is one of the people on our executive committee. So that gives you a feel for that. And then we've already formed the legal structure to transition to become the formal expo leader in our country, and it is a nonprofit corporation. And so the way we've structured is that our application will flow right into this legal format, which is part of a really smooth process that we need to do in order to gain our approval. Next up, we'll have Artai. Come on up, Artai. Artai is the co-chair of our Global Horticulture Council because, as you know, our team is not horticulture people at the beginning, but we're growing into that. And so Artai is our horticulture expert. Talk to you about council.
Which button? Forward?
The green arrow.
There we go. Good afternoon, everyone. It's great being here today, and exactly what Wendy said 2 years ago. I ran into Wendy in Suncheon, and we started talking about Expo. Now, I'm Dutch. Besides working at MPS, which is the largest and best recognized sustainability movement worldwide, I'm also part now as the co-chair for the Global Horticultural Council. And 2 years ago, we started talking about the expo in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, towards 2031. Now, I know the Floriades in the Netherlands. I know what difference it makes for a future generation. I visited them and also seen the beautiful flowers and plants there. And as the co-chair of the Global Horticultural Council, we are driving now, 2 years later, a larger and growing group of professionals on 8 different segments, paving the road towards 2031. And it's an honor to be part as a horticultural representative, helping the group there moving forward towards different aspects. So you see over here, it's not only me doing it, we also have different colleagues who are working closely together with me, but we are working together on 7 key sectors. Now you see them on the left side, of which of course horticulture is a most important, or one of the most important topics, because we are working throughout the USA and nationally, but also internationally, to ensure that the environmental climate zones are all well represented. It's going to be a 6-month period. Now, Minneapolis can be warm, it can also be quite cold. So from there on, we do have the challenges in working together through the supply chain to ensure that we get the growers, both nationally, but also internationally on board. And now that we have kicked off 2025, working with 4 sessions in the council, the architectural group just came on board. You'll hear more about that in a little bit. But as a horticultural part, we are working on mapping the environmental zones. We are reaching out to key stakeholders, both nationally, like American Hort, the breeders from the start of the supply chain. So you're looking at Bol, Syngenta, Dumen, amongst others, Beacon Camp, and throughout the supply chain, looking also at the bigger and famous consumer brands in North America. An example is Proven Winners. You have Southern Living. You have also excellent, how would say it? Tropical plant growers. So those are all parts that we want represented in the expo, offering a great experience for both younger consumers, but also, of course, the generation that we are all part of. So that's step by step that we are doing, and together with the energetic and growing team, today we are ready with more than 6 months ago. We are ensuring that horticulture is really going to be at the core and the heart of the Expo 2031. So thank you very much for the opportunity to give an update on the Global Horticultural Council, and now giving it over to Richard, who will tell more about the part of the public affairs.
Well, thank you, Artai. Good afternoon, everyone. It is great to be before you today. My name is Richard Larkin-McClay. I lead the federal and state relations for Expo 2031, and my role is to ensure that the United States federal recognition of Expo 2031. This afternoon, I'm going to give you a window into how that works in America, because while this process is rigorous, it ensures our credibility and success. Now, I know many of you were hoping we'd walk through those doors today with the U.S. letter in hand. Our federal government understands the urgency, not just the importance, but the urgency of completing this process. And I can assure you that message has been received by this new administration, and they are actively working to finalize the process as we speak. We are in lockstep with our federal partners, and we are excited to share that our completed and approved application is in the hands of someone newly appointed at the U.S. Department of Commerce, who not only understands the process, but he understands us, because he too is a Minnesotan. Having someone with that shared history and trust makes a difference. Director Van Orden, who many of you know, has handed off our fully approved application to him, and he and his team are working to bring it to the highest levels of our government. I wanted you to hear directly today that while you may see the United States a little busy on the global stage, behind the scenes, our government is actively moving this final step of our Expo's federal recognition forward with urgency. Our team was recently in Washington, D.C. to meet with our federal partners, and we prioritized meeting with the U.S. Botanic Gardens team. They curate an extraordinary place that will be an incredible resource for Expo 2031. Standing in those gardens, you immediately understand why the United States takes pride in our horticultural tradition. And I was reminded of something Thomas Jefferson, one of our country's founding fathers and presidents, and an important advocate for the creation of the U.S. Botanic Gardens, had once said, "The greatest service which can be rendered any country is to provide a useful plant to its culture." That same spirit of discovery and cultivation is still alive and well in America. The belief that by fostering new ideas and connections today, we prepare the ground for the next chapter of human progress. And that is why we look forward to being back before you soon with that letter in hand. Thank you for your time today, and with that, I'll hand it back to Wendy.
Well, thanks, Richard. You can see why he's our guy on the Hill, right? Did you feel like you were going to get someone elected? It's awesome. It's awesome. Okay, so we're going to talk. This is the first glimpse we have shown you how you in this room can get involved with Expo 2031, and that is by taking, for those of you who have seen our map before in that, by taking that to the next level and looking at it in zones. This is the addition of our SRF team and our infrastructure and transportation, and you can see here that we now have taken, as Artai spoke about, it can be chilly in Minnesota. We actually might have snow at the beginning of our expo or at the end. We'll plan for that, by the way. Don't worry about that. That shouldn't scare you. But we do know that if we address 5 core zones with tropical, arid, temperate, continental, North Star regions and provide the right ecosystems where countries from all around the world can display and house and share their gardens, their garden pavilions or garden assortments, or however you want to look at it, in a cohesive and beautiful way, that we'll be able to showcase and create the first International Horticultural Exposition in America. So you can see that A through E are now what we're calling would be our international participant zones. And now think about it in America like having a theme park where you'd walk in and you would have those zones and you'd take the rides out and you'd have just amazing horticultural experiences and programming. And so you'll see more of that as we go along, but this is your first glimpse at our expo zones and how we're excited for all of you to participate. Okay, Todd's gonna talk about how we're gonna get there.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Todd Pullum, President and CEO of SRF Consulting Group, a 400-person public and private infrastructure firm, and it is my pleasure to be here speaking with you today. As Wendy alluded to, our goal as a team member is to create a sense of place, a sense of beauty, of learning, attraction, and community for 2031 Expo, but also beyond. while also moving people, product, and services in a seamlessly and efficient manner. Very shortly, we will gain the control of the land, and from that point, we will move into our environmental impact statement. Among many things that the EIS will focus on are site concepts, getting into more detail than what Wendy just showed, and evaluations based on sustainability, innovation, movement of people, as I alluded to earlier, creating placemaking, accessibility. That is something that is very important to us, that all people have access to this great experience. As well as other environmental impacts, making sure that we are doing a positive to our environment, not a negative. And of course, that allows us to obtain state and federal clearance. Once the EIS is completed, we will move into the final design of not only the site itself, but also the transportation elements. We will not have a train going directly to the site. However, we will build upon a strong and existing transportation system of highways, light rail, buses, bike facilities, rideshare, and anchored by the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. Furthermore, the transportation system will be enhanced by a series of gateways. The green one? Big green arrow. Here we go. A series of gateways or park and rides located at existing and new locations to provide an enhanced and efficient mode of transportation. Within and beyond the gateways, we will also have information centers to allow participants to participate and be informed through small programs and other innovative ways. We are so excited to be a part of the team and to make the 2031 World Horticulture Expo a reality. Thank you.
I'm getting my steps in. So where are we going next? How do we get this over the line? Because as we've all talked about, we've been here a minute and we are ready to move, as you can see. So, next steps. We've got to finalize our federal paperwork. We have Richard on that. You feel good about that, right? We have Todd and his team, and Andy, raise your hand in the back. So Andy is the Senior Vice President of SRF, and he and I are in lockstep leading a team of landscape architects, transportation people, and we just put together our architect consortium, so that's really exciting and we're ready to go. We've been growing our investor partner base, and we have some key partners that have committed that say that they'll be in as soon as we are approved, so we're excited about that. And then, just to give you an idea of our timeline, we are fully built out in a timeline, so we are tracking. We've moved along. Even though we have not finalized some of the key approvals, we've just kept going because we are going to build an expo and we will get there and we're staying on our track. So I know this looks small, but of course we'll share it with anybody who needs. So in closing, we're ready. Expo 2031 Minnesota is ready to host our own International Horticultural Exposition. We have the organizational framework, we have the federal alignment, and the infrastructure planning in place, and our industry partnerships continue to grow to make this a reality. Most importantly, we've built a team that reflects the strength of our growing horticultural community in the U.S. and globally. We're honored to be a part of the AIPH family, and we are grateful for your guidance and partnership. Thanks everybody for your attention. Have a great day.